Hey guys, this is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Older Brickcat and welcome to another movie review. Today's movie review is a very controversial movie that everyone's saying this is the worst MCU film, but what do I think of it? Captain Marvel, which is directed by Anna Bogan and Ryan Fleck, and this is a new character that's brought into the MCU, and this is like the 21st movie in the MCU, and stars Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Jude Law, and Ben Mendelsohn. And this movie is about Carol Danvers, known as Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. She's in a war with her universe against another universe, and when she arrived in Earth and met Nick Fury, she's discovering things from her past. Now, I was very interested in Captain Marvel. Since the end credits scene on Infinity War introduces Captain Marvel, and Brie Larson is announced as Captain Marvel, I got interested. I like Brie Larson. I thought she's very likable. She's really great in Room. I didn't mind her in Kong Skull Island. I think she's a very likable actress, so her in a superhero role, pretty tight for her. And the trailers of the movie, I was kind of worried about the movie at first because it's very different than I thought it's going to be. I haven't read any comics by Captain Marvel. I haven't even heard about Captain Marvel. So I watched this film very open-minded because a lot of people were surrounding this film. A lot of people were hating the film. A lot of people say it's one of the most disappointing movies in the MCU. A lot of people say it's like the worst MCU film. But there are a couple of people that actually like the film, especially Rotten Tomatoes. Like, they like the film more than the audience did. And I literally went into the film with an open mind, seeing this as just a fun MCU film, but also as a film in general, because that's how I always see a film. Just see it as a film or an entertainment value film. I gotta say, guys, this movie was not that bad. Literally, a lot of people were exaggerating with this film. Like, yes, there were a lot of flaws in the movie, and I'm actually gonna mention that first because this is kind of like the order of what I thought about the movie. At first, the flaws in the movie, the first act of the movie, I was literally thinking, yeah, I can see why a lot of people are starting to hate this film, because the first act of this movie was very choppy. There are so many conspiracies and story issues, and I was literally thinking like, this film's not gonna go that well. Also, some of the action scenes in this movie, even though they're wildly entertaining, there were some action scenes that I just cannot see what is happening. But just the biggest problem with the film is the first act. How it's constructed, it was confusing, it was weird, but also it's not as well handled. But then when the second act came in, I was thinking to myself, it makes sense. And this movie was really good. I wouldn't say this is the best movie in the MCU. Definitely this is going down below with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Iron Man 2, and For the Dark World. But it's not as worse as those three movies I was talking about. Yes, I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm sorry. Something with that movie that I just literally thinking, ugh. Captain Marvel was a very entertaining superhero film. And I think it's a movie that I think a lot of Marvel fans will just enjoy it for what it is. It's a very entertaining movie. And I think my biggest positive with this film is that Brie Larson in the movie was really good in the film. A lot of people said like Brie Larson was like, man, literally in the first act of the movie, she wasn't as likable in the first act, but then when the movie goes on with the second act, you do feel bad for her in a couple of scenes, and it makes sense why she's like very weird in the first act of the movie, and she did a really great job doing that part, and I think she did a really great job with Captain Marvel, and I can't wait to see her in the MCU movies in the future. Also, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury was definitely my favorite part of this movie. One of my favorite parts of the movie, actually. He was actually really great in this film. I love Nick Fury. I love Samuel L. Jackson's role of Nick Fury in most of the MCU films. All the MCU films, actually. But I think this is the best Nick Fury that I've ever seen in this movie. He was actually so funny in the film. He was likable. He has charisma. And he's just a lot of fun to watch in the film. And I just think the way they constructed young Nick Fury in the film, I don't know if it's CGI or anything, but it looks so real. He looks really great in this movie. Also, surprisingly, Ben Mendelsohn in this film was very different than I thought it was going to be, and I'm not going to spoil this, this is a non-spoiler review, but he did a really great job in this film, and I'm surprised that you do feel sorry for him in a couple scenes, and I'll do that in a spoiler review. I will do a spoiler review of this movie because there's so many cool shit I want to talk about, but Ben Mendelsohn did a great job in the film. Jude Law actually did a great job as well. I wouldn't say he's like the best part of the movie, but he did a pretty decent job for what he has given. But I gotta say, guys, there's a cat in this movie. I'm not gonna spoil why the cat is so awesome in the film, but it is. The cat is awesome in the film. It makes me kind of like cats a bit more. Otherwise, when I say the action scenes are very hard to look at, the action scenes are still very entertaining to watch. The CGI looks amazing. The special effects, really fantastic. I think this is the best looking special effects movie that I've ever seen out in the MCU. I know you can probably dislike this video by now, but I would say the special effects in this movie were very, very well done. This is a very entertaining MCU film. I wouldn't say this is the perfect MCU film, but definitely this is one of the most fun I had with an MCU film for a bit of a long time. Like, this movie is not dark like any other MCU films, and I think MCU is going for a dark level as well, because, you know, the Avengers movies. This movie just knows what it is. It's a light, it's a fun film, a good buddy cop movie as well between Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. I think the chemistry is really great in the film, but also a pretty well done superhero film that actually had me entertained in most scenes of the movie. Just the first act of the movie, I was literally like, don't hate it. I can see where it's going with it, but it is very, very choppy with its first act of this movie. Also, this movie is very nostalgic as well. There's so many 90s like moments in this film that I'm literally like, that is awesome. And it's actually really funny in a lot of scenes, especially they reference in 90 movies as well. I'm not going to spoil, I'll do a spoiler review and talk about that, but it made me laugh really freaking hard. Guys, overall, Captain Marvel isn't bad. Like, a lot of people were saying that this movie is the worst out of the MCU films. I don't think so. The first act should have been constructed better, but still, this is a very entertaining film. I think Marvel fans will just watch it and appreciate what it is. It's definitely not my favorite out of the MCU films, but I'll still buy it and watch it as an entertainment value, because this is definitely a very entertaining movie, and I can't wait to see Brie Larson in the MCU in the future. I want to see her in Endgame. I'm really excited to see her in Endgame. She'll definitely defeat Thanos. That is for sure. Not going to spoil why she probably would, but if you watch this movie, you'll think of the same way. I'm going to give Captain Marvel a thumbs up rating. So guys, that is my review for Captain Marvel. What do you guys think of Captain Marvel? Comment below, let me know what you think. If you like the movie, hate the movie, or thought it's one of the most disappointing MCU films, that is your opinion. Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.